Who's first? Oh, Janet is first. Good to see you, Janet. Christina, hello. Gloria, hello. Tennille, hello. Red strawberries, reminding everyone to drink juice. Good to see Ernestine on. Linda is checking in from Reno. Good to see you. Jean Coleman is on. Hello. Good evening to you. Uh, the Honorable Larry Baker, former mayor of the city of Walltowerville, Georgia. Good brother. Good to see Tam Reeds. Good to see LaWanda Tillman on. E. Joyce Paris is on with us every single Friday night. Julia Bright Dinkins is on. And Barbara Kaufman has come back from wherever she was, but we're glad she's back. And the child is on. So we have Barbara and Crystal Kaufman on. We only have one Tillman on at this moment, but good to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Friday Night Live. We are excited that you're here. It is Friday. Leslie, Miss Cookie is on. Catherine Grant, good evening to you. Good to see you. And thank you for joining us as well. And Andre Patterson is on from Massachusetts, right? Wow. Regina Young, good evening. Good to see you. Talia Miss Strawberry is on as well. Sarah Stevens, Liberty City's finest and Liberty County's finest, is back in town. Good to see you. And Aunt Ollie, good to see you as well. Chat Howard is on, but we don't see Trish. So, oh, there go Trish. Okay, I understand. All right, so we got Chat and Trish. We got Barbara and Crystal. We got Lita. Good to see you, Lita, as well. And then, of course, my big brother, Spencer Ellis White III. Good to see you. Mary Arby, hello. Lahoma has joined us, and we say hello to her as well. Ernestine Wells is in Reedsville. Tanya and Pierre, good to see y'all. Welcome, glad to have you. Welcome to Savannah, Friday Night Live. Good to see Sister Barbara Foster on with us, as she always is too. So good to see her. And shouts out to Pastor Lester Foster and the great folks at St. Mary's African Methodist Episcopal Church. Pastor Thurman Neal Tillman has joined us, and now we have both Tillmans on. And again, speaking about the dedication of the Tillman family just 2 weeks ago. While they were on with us, they were in Ghana. They were in Africa. I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want y'all breaking into your house. But good to see you, Pastor Tillman. Catherine Bennett is on with us. And hey, Mama Charlotte is on. Good to see you, ma'am. Hope you're doing well. Jackie Bonner is on vacation, but she is watching me. That's what you're supposed to do. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see Janelle Wesley Edwards doing great things in these streets. Good to see you as well. Barbara Dolores is on with us as well. Good to see Richard and Joya. So I have the Dinkins on. I have the Tillmans on. I have the Kaufmans on as well. So great day, great day. Coach Cassell Bell from Jacksonville, Duval, good to see you. Joanne Watkins has joined us. Christina Michelle, thank you for joining us as well. My great cousin, Marion Jones, good to see you, ma'am, and I hope you are doing well. Thank you. Donica! Donica has joined us. So you know that's a special treat because we know she's always so busy like grandmama and mama and so good to see you, Donica. Thank you for joining us. And to all of you, we appreciate it for you to join us on what was a hot day then turned into a rainy day. Good to see you. And Sean J. Chris is on, but more importantly, Skylar is on. Hey, Skylar! Skylar! You were supposed to come see me, Skylar. You told me you were coming to see me, and you didn't come see me, Skylar. You should have had your daddy bring you by to see me. So I wanted to see you. I hope you're doing well in Atlanta, and we miss you. Okay, Skylar? So you call me soon, okay? All right. Good to see Julia on. And good to see Miguel on as well. So we don't see Miguel. Well, we see Miguel, but we don't see Angela. So we're looking for Angela. We're putting out an APB, all points bulletin out for Angela. Good to see the Monica Thornton on from Jacksonville, and certainly our condolences go out to you and your family. Jorcette is on, so we have both sweats on. We have Mama Charlotte and Jorcette is on with us. So thank you. Lynn Brennan is on. Good evening to you. Shauna Kennedy is on. Good evening. Joanne Watkins as well. Mama Julia is on. So good to see you, Julia. Sean J. Chris, you'll be back for Jacqueline Carr. I don't know if I'm going to be in town, but I hope that I will so I can see Scholar, okay? I want to see Scholar, so you make sure it happens. But to all of you, we're just so glad that you have joined us. Again, it got a little rainy, heavy today, but you know that's that weather pattern that we face as well. So again, thank you all for joining us. We're so glad that you're with us. We know that you can always have other things to do. Good to see Willie Brantley. The temperature has gone down considerably, and so now it is absolutely doable, and it's absolutely a beautiful night here in the hostess city of the South. So a couple of things we want you to do, as we do always, is that we want you, Brother Keith Kimball has joined us. We want you to like the page, and we want you to share the page, right? Like the page, share the page. Good to see Ann Morris on. Good to see Brenda Hayco. Good to see you, ma'am, as well. Dolores Simmons is on. Good to see you. Good to see the woman of unshakable faith, Sandra Lynette Stevens Smalls. Good to see you. And Angela is on, so Miguel found Angela. So we're happy about that. And Catherine says Linda is at Blackshear Park, and we appreciate that. But you know, I had to be here. I mean, y'all know the deal is I would have been at Blackshear Park, but I had to be here. And Dr. Bay is on. Wow! So it's always good to see our favorite doctor on, and hope you're doing well. Hope you're not working too hard. Terica Tapley is on. Tapley is on as well. Barbara Askew, good. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Good to see you. So always a lot going on here, and we appreciate you all taking the time to join us. All of a sudden, I look a little fuzzy. I don't know why, but I'll go through it. There I go. Sabrina Ware Wright, good to see you. Antoinette Jenkins is saying good evening to everybody, and we say good evening to you. Sabrina Robinson has joined us. Good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us as well on Friday Night Live. So first thing we want you to do, is we always ask you to do, is like the page, share the page, right? Like the page, share the page. Take a moment, go ahead, like the page. Can you do that? Go ahead right quick, and I'm watching so I know from the engagements whether you're liking the page and sharing the page. So go ahead and like the page. Like the page, right? And then share the page, right? Don't take that long to do that. Brother David Minkowitz, good to see you. And Gail Red is on with us as well. Pleasant Grove AME Church is on. So I guess you got to switch that out a little bit. But good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Keith Kimbo, sister's coming from Queens to visit Savannah for the first time. Well, Keith, she will love it. Lily Reddick has joined us. And Dr. Pete Silver is always on the move, and now he is on his way to Charlotte, North Carolina. And we want you to be safe, Dr. Silver. Also good to see Lucille Jackson has joined us, and it was good seeing you yesterday. Good to see Picola Benton on with us. Good evening to you. And Snowy Polite, good to see you. Angie Scott from the DMV is on. Thank you for joining us as well. And so I'm going to see whether you all correct the earlier post, but it is Debbie Morse's birthday. So happy birthday to Debbie Morse. And we wish you a very, very happy day. And so y'all wish Debbie, Reverend Debbie Morse, my sister and friend a very, very happy birthday. Good to see Chris Hart on. Good to see you. Oh, wow. So Miss Thomasina White is watching with Spencer tonight, and we love Miss Thomasina White. I've known Miss Thomasina White probably most of my life, and so we love her. And so, Spencer, I am glad that she is hanging out with you tonight. Chris, I have not read Mob Island yet. I have not, and I apologize. I just not had a moment to do it, but I will. I will. And so everybody is shooting out happy birthdays to Reverend Debbie Morris. Um, it's her day today, and Estella Hopkins is on from McIntosh City as well. Deborah Grant is on. Good to see you, Angela Kirkland. Good evening. Again, people shouting out Debbie Morris. And I'm gonna tell y'all about my little vacation for a minute as well. Um, Chris, I plan to. Barbara Pinckney um, can't stay too long. Barbara, you know, the way you get to 42 years is you remember what your priorities are. So, Barbara, I know that I'm a priority in your life. I know that on Friday nights, generally, you belong to me. But I can't pay your bills, Barbara, okay? And so you need to go and spend some time with Tyrone Pinckney, or you could bring him in. We'll celebrate him as well. But happy anniversary, Barbara, and certainly wish Mr. Pinckney, Mr. Tyrone Pinckney, a happy anniversary. Good to see Literacy United has joined us as well, and Bishop Jacqueline Gilbert Grant has joined us. Good to see you, ma'am. Hope you are doing well. Um, I haven't seen you in a minute, so I'm glad to see you. And Bishop Grant, go ahead and wish your sister, Reverend Debbie Morse, a happy birthday today. I'm sure you've called. I hope you've called. Um, so we, let me see. Let's see who else. Jim Vivo, good to see you, sir. Good evening to you. Um, as well. Cheryl Mitchell is on. Good evening to you. So once you like the page, share the page. And now let's go through this as well. Sharon Renee Smith Taswell, happy birthday. Sending happy birthday greetings to Reverend Debbie Morse. So we're giving her the program today. We want you to send out love to our girl Tara, right? Rita Yates, good to see you. Ernisa, good evening to you. But we send out love for our girl Tara. 3 candy apple hearts and then a red heart. And that is for our girl Tara that we continue to be in thoughts and prayers for. So we send out love to her. And you know, we believe that prayer works. We believe that good thoughts work, right? And so that's why we do this. So we send out love to her. And then we send out love to, let me see, let me get it right. Let me see, I'm trying to get it right. Let me see. Let me see. All right, everybody's doing Tara Strong. Good. Y'all doing right. Audrey Roundtree is on. Pastor Charles Dumas from Townsley Chapel AME is on as well. Jennifer wants to know about an annual budget goes to littering in Savannah. Yeah, we actually have a whole litter team, and we have various litter campaigns. You know, obviously we don't handle schools, but you know, our police, if they see someone littering, they will, and we do community cleanups all of the time. And so, you know, littering is learned behavior. It has to be more than you know, picking up trash and picking up litter. It's also about changing behavior, and that's what we have to do. But thank you. This goes out to all of our lupus warriors. Sammy Lee Williams is on from Ackworth, Georgia. Good to see you. Christy Ellis is on. Michaela Shivers is on. Rocking Robin McDaniel Beck is on from Kansas City, Missouri. Had a chance to see her in Kansas City, and she was fabulous as ever. So we're sending out love to our lupus warriors, those folks who have lupus, but lupus does not have them. Good to see Lam Hong on as well. And so we send out those shouts out, and then of course to those, y'all got to be so slick, right? Miss Barbara Kaufman. I'm going to get to that point where I'll be able to catch up with y'all and do it. Right now I just do them all separately. It might be a little bit more engagement that way, right? So we send those out. And then we send out to those with multiple sclerosis. Good to see Bunny Ware is reporting in from Port Wentworth. They're having a summer concert series as well. Good to see you. Good to see Henry Lee Perry. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Lisa Wiggins is on. Good to see you. Desmond Duval on. Good to see you. Robert, thank you. Good to see you. Good to see Nikki Simpson. Thank you for having my back in these streets, Nikki. I appreciate you. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And Arlene Council, good to see you. Hey, sweetie. Also, Barbara Roberson is on with us. And so, again, well, thank you so much for joining us. So you know what it is. It's Friday night, right? Every single Friday night, we get together, right? We get together and we build community. And so, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, on this date, on the 12th of July, 2024, we have been doing this for 225 straight weeks. 225 straight weeks. Every single Friday night for 1,576 days. Every single Friday night for 4 years and 3 months. Every single Friday night for 51 straight months. We have been together. Yes, we've been together. We've been riding and dying together. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you for sticking with us. We have built community here, and from the epicenter of Savannah, Georgia, and we're now all over the world now. Ronald Wolf, good to see you. Delandria Smith, thank you for joining us. Mama Marsha is on. Good to see you as well. Audrey King, who I think we're supposed to be friends with Audrey, right? So we're being friends with Audrey. So let's be friends with Audrey. And Jennifer, thank you. You're very welcome. And Michelle and Mr. Bill are on. Now here, Michelle is in the middle of having a sleep study, but she's on the phone and listening to Friday night. Now, you know what, Michelle? I can forgive you if you're having a sleep study. You're supposed to be asleep during a sleep study, Michelle. But I get it. You know, this is what we do on Friday nights, and they should have scheduled your sleep study for 10 o'clock, or they should have scheduled it for Thursday night or for Saturday night, right? How dare they be disrespectful to you and to me to schedule a sleep study, during Friday Night Live? What is wrong with them, right? So anyway, I'll leave that alone. Yeah, so good to see you. And yes, Lynn, we do have an Explorer program. But thank you so much. Helen Bright is on with us. And good to see Eugene Ballard Sr. on. Hope you're doing well. Joan Daniel is on. Alan Wright has joined us. Always good to see him here with us. And then Alderman Dietrich Leckett from the 2nd District. And he's saying the 2nd District won. I have to verify that. I have not heard independent verification, Alderman Leggett. I want to make sure that the 2nd District really did win. So if I hear from some authority, then we'll do it, right? Gail Red, thank you. 225 weeks, 51 months, ride or die. Yes, Miguel. All right. So break up time to go pick up some rides. Miguel, thank you, sir, for joining us, and thank you for being safe and keeping us safe, and thank you for leaving um, um, Angie with us. Good to see Helen on as well. Lou Phelps, the Savannah Business Journal is on with us. Georgia Davis, good to see you as well. Patricia is on with us. Thank you as well. And Doris McCray, I am a little worn out, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Marjorie Young, the maven of small businesses is all. So good to see you on as well. Tina Ryan, hello. And Diedrich says he got the trophy. How do I know that you got the trophy? I mean, did you steal a trophy? I don't know. I mean, I got to see that you actually won. And why did you get the trophy if somebody else was playing? But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. Mom and Max are doing well. Thank you, Patricia, for asking. But again, thank you for joining us. So a couple of things to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about, let me see. So we started having our budget hearings yesterday. We had 2 of them, right? Sending them happy birthday greetings to Cheryl Childress tomorrow. So good to see you. But we started our budget hearings. Of course, our tax digest is up. Good to see Hilda Cohen on. Valuations are going up, which means that your property is worth more. And because your property is worth more, it is taxed more because taxation is based off of the volume, of the value of your home. Now, we have chosen here in Savannah to have public hearings because we want to maintain your millage rate at 12.2 mils. 12.2 mils is the lowest city of Savannah tax rate it's the lowest tax rate since 1987. So do the math, how long it's been. But we have committed that we were not going to raise taxes unless we absolutely had to. And I am appreciative that during the 139th and the 140th administration of the city of Savannah, under my administrations, we have not raised taxes. We have maintained the millage rate. And I think that says something for our community and our willingness to be able to try to, really engage people in a major way. So we know because of increased valuation, Tina, remind me to talk about that. Terry Mobley has joined us. Wow, okay. Terry Mobley joined us. And Zelene Burns. Hey, Ms. Burns, good to see you. But, basically what has happened is that, our value is up. And so we get more money because of that. Now, we have some choices about what we do with this money. We can take the money and we can return it back in a decrease of taxes. Now, the advantage is you might get a couple of dollars of tax relief. The bad news is that you have to turn around at the end of the year because you're funding it at 12.2. But if you reduce it, now you still have to make for the difference between the 12.2 and what you decrease it to. So Lou, it's new properties and increased values, but about 70% of it for us is really for increased values. The other 29-30% is really because of new growth. Okay, so it's a combination of both. And so for us, we anticipate having about $7 million for us additional because of the growth. And we have decided what we've done over the last couple of years is to be able to use that to invest in growth. So we use our growth, the money raised from growth, to help fund the growth. And so that's one-time money. It's not what's called reoccurring revenues that happens every year. So you end up with about $7 million more that you can do something with. And so what do we do about that? And so we have chosen to do it for three things. We want to allocate of the $3.4 million to address drainage. We know Savannah is low-lying land. We know that Savannah will flood over a short period of time. We know that Savannah does not stay flooded. However, we know we can continue to make improvements in our drainage structure, and that's money that goes into the ground, really. I mean, so $3.4 million to address drainage improvements in various parts of our city. I think that is really important to be able to find ways to accrete that. So we have a bar screen replacement at the Fell Street station on the west side, Millsby Lane drainage improvement over in the Woodville area that needs it, drainage improvement in the Sylvan Terrace community, and drainage improvements in the Tremont Road area. And why this is important is because when you look at how drainage occurs, if you don't clean up drainage at the bottom of the system, then what ends up happening is the water has nowhere to go. So as you open up those canals, as you deal with water flowage, water conveyance, water has a place to go. So the water up at the top of the system now has a place to go. Flooding occurs when the water pools and it has nowhere to go. So the water, that instead of going like this, it goes out, and that's how people flood. So of that $7,093,000 that we've realized from growth, about $3.5 million, we want to put that into drainage. Also of that $7.93 million, we want to invest $2 million into transportation and safety improvements. We've heard you when you've said to us that, you know, it's too much speeding, it's too much stuff going on. And so we want to really increase our traffic calming, speed bumps, cameras, traffic enforcement. We want to do better jobs of striping. And if you go through our streets and you see some of the striping is just worn down, we want to improve pedestrian lighting and other safety improvements. And so this gives us opportunity to be able to do that, right? Good to see Helen on. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Molly Lieberman has joined us. Gail, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Helen, and thank you, Alvernia Jackson. The AKs took over Dallas, and now they are back. So thank you, Miss Gail. I appreciate that. So we want to, hey, thank you, Ms. Burns. I appreciate that. So we want to get to the point in Savannah where we have zero traffic accidents and zero pedestrian accidents. We know that it requires two things. One, the built environment, and the second thing, behavior. So in the built environment, you have to make sure that you have, you know, brightly lit lanes. You have to have, you know, speed controls where they need to be. You need traffic lights. You need to have speed bumps where people want to deal with, you know, using some of our streets as their dragways. And then the other side about that is for changing behavior, which is enforcement. And so that's police officers writing y'all tickets and cameras, giving y'all tickets when y'all want to speed through our city. And so we want to invest that as well. Alan, you are absolutely right. Catherine, thank you. Robert, I will talk about that in a minute. So $7.98 million, so $3.5 million for drainage, $2 million for transportation safety improvements, and then the remaining $1.6 million is for public safety and for helping our police and fire. We know that we are in, as I call it, a mortal combat for talent. Everywhere, people are looking for police officers and people are looking for firefighters. If we cannot pay them competitively, then we know we will lose them to another um, to another municipality. You know, you have to pay them. You have to pay them. And so we find ourselves in um, this war for talent. And so we have $2 million extra that'll be left. And so we want to raise our starting salary for police officers from $51,263 to $53,826. We want to raise our starting pay for firefighters from $49,200 to $51,660. We want to pay people that we steal from other departments. We want to pay them to come over, and we want to give a hiring bonus. Right now, we get $5,000 for a hiring bonus. We want to raise that to $7,500. I've said before, and I'll say it again, I do not want to just hire anybody just to say that we have a, all right, thank you, Michelle, and I hope your sleep study goes well. But I just don't want to just hire police just to say we have a fully staffed police force. We need the best and brightest. We need individuals who have the cultural sensitivity, who have the emotional maturity, people who have good judgment. We put a lot of investment into our police and firefighters. We put thousands of dollars of training into our police and our firefighters. And so we need them to be good. And so I don't want to just, shuck and jive just so we can say we have butts and seats. No. I want to make sure we're careful and we make sure that we are hiring the right people. We know what happens when departments hire the wrong people. We know it. And we see opportunities like this all over the country where you have police officers or firefighters behaving badly, not doing the right thing. So, we want to invest in that. So from all of that, literally, again, we're talking about $7,098,845. So $3.5 million in drainage, $2 million into traffic safety improvements, and $1.6 million to pay for additional raises for our police and our fire. And so we're not raising your taxes to do this, but some people, taxes might go up. Why? Because your value of your property is going up. Good to see you all, Denise. Hey, Denise, good to see you. Faye, is my good friend on? I haven't seen my good friend, Faye. Monia, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well at Ruin Thai Cuisine. This is a good use of our money. You can't fund recurring things with one-time revenue. So this gives us a chance to do it. Now, in Chatham County, we have the blessing of what's called the Stevens Day tax exemption that essentially freezes your property value. So, from your city taxes, it won't go up. It may not go up or not go up much. Now, the city of Savannah is not the only taxing entity. So when people call me and talk about how their taxes gone up and we raise their taxes, we're not the only ones who raise taxes. We're not the only one who collects taxes. The city of Savannah collects taxes. Chatham County collects taxes. The school board collects the most taxes for everybody. And Chatham Area Transit also collects taxes as well. So, there are 4 taxing entities. And so if your value goes up and the taxes stay the same, if you don't have an exemption, your taxes are going to go up. So make sure you have your exemptions to make sure you get the benefit of that. So we've had 2 public hearings and we have another one in 2 weeks. And so I wanted you to understand what it was we were doing and wanted you to understand why we were doing it. So that's the deal with that. The other thing is I-16, the overpass there at Chatham Parkway was hit. An excavator ran into it. Chatham Parkway, that overpass is closed. They will not allow you to go across it. And so if you are going west on I-16. They're not going to let you do it from MLK to Chatham Parkway. Your best bet is to go around it, do it on 17, do it on 80, do it on 21. But it is a mess, and so if I were you, stay away from it. It will be closed to at least Monday as they continue to assess it. And it's unfortunate, but make sure you allow yourself more time to get to where you need to be. All right? So that's an update on that. Robert says Savannah Fire rocks, and I absolutely agree with you. We have the best firefighters in the world, and we are blessed to have them. So I wanted to talk about that. Another thing I want to talk about, last week I was on vacation, y'all. I was on vacation. Oh, let me go back. Let me hold that for a minute. Let me go back to the part. So this week, I remember the Susie King Taylor debacle. Somebody sued us because they said that the city could not name something we own. We could not change the name of Calhoun Square into the name of Susie King Taylor Square. And they felt that they could ask the judge to issue an injunction against the city of Savannah. Well, they lost. Told you. The city of Savannah can name the stuff we own in the way we want to own it. And so Susie King Taylor Square remains Susie King Taylor Square. And so thank you all for your support and all of that. So we move on to other things. Yeah, still Susie King Taylor. Still. All right? But yeah, I went on vacation last week. So when you saw me last week, I was outside. I was outside. I posted some pictures, and some folk had it fit. Talking about like I should be in the office, and I should be here, and I should be here. Man, look. There is more to life than work. And I will tell you that life is a very finite thing. We're all given some period of time to be able to live it. What we do with it and what we do with the precious time we're blessed with. I'm sorry, but I've worked hard to make sure I'm not working all my life. I'm just not going to do it. And I have not really had an opportunity to really go out and enjoy. I think this is the first time in maybe 5 years I really had a chance to go outside. And I went outside. And our city boys turned up. City boys up. I went out and I had a great time. I went out. And the funny part about it is people half my age don't work half as hard. And they say they're talking about, I can't go on vacation. You better know. Look, the mayor of the city of Savannah is a part-time job that I made full-time. And so I was out in these streets, and I don't make no excuse for doing it. So if you want to see me have a good time, that's on my personal Facebook page. I had not been in beach water like that in quite some time. I had not been on some jet skis for quite some time. I was enjoying my life. And so when you have people, when you have children, people young enough to be your children telling you what you can't do, they will get over it. They will get over it until you pay any of my bills. Any of my bills. You're not going to tell me about what I can do and what I can't do. And maybe you'll live long enough and be blessed enough that you'll be able to go out and turn up too. And so I wasn't the mayor. I was a dude who just needed to get away. I remember it was 2019, I believe it was. I think 2019 I was running for mayor. 2020, 2021 was COVID. 2022 was COVID. 2023. I was back in elections, and no, I'm not doing that no more. When you know better, you do better. And so Wednesday, I went and got me a massage with Savannah Day Spa, I think it was. It was good. And then on Thursday, I was out. I left these Savannah streets, and I acted like I had no sense. I thought I saw Sadie Campbell on. Good to see you, Brother Campbell. Thank you for joining us. She always keeps it 100 because she's going to be 100 in just a couple of weeks. So, but this is to all of y'all as well. And I was just telling my dear friends this today. I want you all, you need to find a way to unplug. Um, life will have you lifing. And I'm gonna start taking some more vacation and going off and enjoying myself more because I realized I needed that. I mean, I slept like I slept like 8 hours for like 2 days in a row, 2.5 days in a row. I slept like 8 hours, and I usually don't sleep 8 hours. But it was just good to be able to do that. And I didn't even go to church Sunday. I didn't even play in church Sunday. I just didn't. And I just felt so much better. And so I'm gonna spend some time going off and enjoying and traveling and stuff because when my day comes, I want you all to be able to say, you know what? He had a good time. Good to see Jenny Parker on as well. Yeah, I'm looking now. I'm looking. I mean, again, I had not rode jet skis in a long time, and I rode them all the days I was there. I mean, I'm there doing that, riding the jet skis, and I took my shirt off, and I'm looking at people looking, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at the physique of that man," you know. And so I would flex a little bit, They could look at the biceps, and they could look at the quads and the traps and all of that, and you know, people wanted to come up and kind of touch me and all that. And I was like, all right, you could look. You can look a little bit. You can't touch. Good to see Dr. Stella Edwards Shabazz on. You know, life just be lifing. And you find yourself caught up. Bishop, I'm telling the truth. Bishop, it was something on that beach. When the shirt came off, I mean, I forgot, really how good I looked. Now, do I have a six pack? I do not. It's more probably like a 12 and a half pack, right? But I looked all right. I did, and I got some sun. And you know what? Vitamin D is you get that from the sun. Matter of fact, I came back and that night my head was just itching. I mean, all up in here and all up in here. I think I was sunburned. Um, but you know, please y'all, find ways. I tell Bishop Grant that all the time. Y'all find ways to do you and celebrate you, because there comes a day of reckoning, and I have told people, and I've heard it before, that when your day comes, nobody ever wants to say, "I wish I spent more time at work." Right? The fact of the matter is, you're never gonna have enough money, right? You're never gonna have enough money. You're never gonna have enough time. You make the money. I mean, you use the money and you just take the time and you invest in yourself. Good to see James Hunsrucker. Good to see you, sir. Um, and I realized, I said, you know what? I need to get me more massages. That massage was good. I fell asleep, and then she's gonna tell me, "That's it, Mr. Johnson." I said, "You just got started," and it was an hour. An hour had already went by, and I'm like, "Yo, hey, I might need you to go ahead and give me another hour because it felt just that good." And so I'm gonna start doing that, and I want y'all to do that too. Just take the time, just make the time. Um, you know, make the time, invest in you. You are your most important asset. You are your star player, and if you are not there, then what do you have? And so um, I've decided to be able to find ways in doing that. And so I want y'all to help me in doing that. I'll probably post. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna I'll show y'all how I was like turned up. Let me see. Now some of these pictures y'all can't see for various reasons, right? Y'all can see this one. Y'all can see this one, right? All right, can you see it? I wonder, can you see it? Yeah, that was me. I was lit, man. I was doing that thing. So I was having me a good time. And then I was out there while I was riding, and then the dolphins were like riding up next to me, right? And you know, first I thought the dolphins were sharks, right? And so I'm like, I'm out. Now some of these pictures you can't see. This is actually a good video, right? Let me see. Yeah, you can see this one. I have to make sure I edit some of these ones that y'all can't see. See, so I don't know if you can see that. Stony! But Stony was the reason I was late tonight, right? Yeah, I was enjoying myself. Take time to invest in what's really important. And I want y'all to do that. I'm doing it. Dr. Bay, we need your help, and we always love you being on with us. And I'm going to try to start doing better. I want y'all to help me do better as well. So anyway, that was it. I turned up. I was outside, and I'm going outside again. I forgot how much fun it was to be outside. So anyway, so tell me what questions y'all have. We have a couple of minutes for any questions you have related to the city of Savannah. I'll be more than glad to answer them for you. Dr. Silva, balance is so important. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And certainly you show us all the way. Delandria says rest and relaxation, got to do it. Yep. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know, when the good Lord comes, I remember when I was younger, and we were clubbing, and if we really clubbed good, when the club was over, and you remember when the lights would come on at the last song, and the lights would come on, you know, we would help the people in the club close up the club. I mean, we would take the chairs and put the chairs on top of the tables, right? Aviana, good to see you. And so we did that. We had a great time in doing that. And so when the Lord says that it is time, time is up on my life, I want to be able to help the Lord to put the chairs on the table, because I had a great time, and be able to say life don't owe me nothing. I want to be able to say that life don't owe me nothing. So any questions y'all have, let's go ahead and hear them. Crystal, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm trying to do better, so I'm going to do better. So, but you know, I'll still be on Friday Night Live. So although I was outside, I came inside for Friday Night Live. Hey, Ms. Burns, thank you so much. I appreciate you praying for me. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So what questions we have in the last few minutes tonight? Let's do that. And Miss Sadie, you know we love Miss Sadie, right? Miss Sadie is our favorite Campbell ever. And we know we have our Verna and some other Campbells out there but we love Mother Sadie. Willie, you just getting on, brother. We've been talking issues for the last 45 minutes, so we've already talked those issues. Um, now I'm talking life. Um, Angela says Riverview Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're looking for volunteers. Let me tell you, Riverview Health and Rehabilitation Center is one of my favorite places. You go in there and you see some of our greatest citizens. We appreciate them, but I really appreciate the love and the honor and the respect and the dignity that the folks at Riverview give um, to our citizens. And so, if you have extra time, want to give extra time, they have a good time over there, and they're always doing something. Inbox, um, inbox Angela about that. So, go ahead and do that. Ronald says, answer your question. What's your question, Ronald? Let me see. Let me see what the question was, Ronald. How about addressing the homeless problem on the South Side? Um, no, what about addressing the homeless issue everywhere? Um, Homelessness is a multi-faceted social, economic, mental health, in some cases, criminal justice issue. We have homeless people throughout our city. What I will tell you is that in 1 year, this city has reduced homelessness about 22% according to our um, annual HUD point in time count. What has happened is that homelessness also moves, and so some of the homelessness issues that have been uh, downtown has just shifted. Um, Willie, whatever, man. Willie, you need to come to. If you come on time instead of coming at 9:50, you would know. I've been talking about issues all night, man. You gotta be on time, brother. You gotta be on time. So you want to hear about issues, you can listen to this later. Um, I don't have to kill time. This is my time. Remember now, I'm not obligated to do this. I just do it. I've been doing it for 255 weeks. But anyway, back to Ronald. Um, so um, we actually have recognized that we have um, about 70% utilization in our shelters. We are building. Um, Thank you, Spencer. I appreciate you. We have built homeless veteran housing. We are now building tiny homes for single people and families next to the Cove at Dundee. Um, we continue to build out um, day shelters for individuals who um, need places to go during the day. Um, but I'll tell you, it's a challenge. Um, Obviously, if they're on private property and the owner doesn't want them there, they can't be there. However, constitutionally, if they're on public property, um, there's not much we can necessarily do about that. So it requires us to be able to have a one-person, individualized approach to these things. You can't throw them all in a barrel. Um, Through our homeless authority and our homeless partners, we connect with them individually. We get to know their names, we get to know their stories, and they have different needs. One person, for example, might have mental health issues, and he just had access to medication. So let's get him access to his medication. Some people, they want to go home. Good to see Vanessa. It's all right that you're late. Some folks, they have family out of town, and if we can locate a family member who's willing to take them and be responsible for them, we'll send them anywhere in the country they want to go. But what we're not going to do is just put them on a bus and ship them off and do to other people like they did us. These are not statistics. These are people. And so we want to make sure if we're putting them on a bus and sending them somewhere, we're sending them to someone who's going to help them and be responsible for them. We obviously have shelter opportunities. Right now, shelters are about 70 to 75% utilized. Thank you, Ms. Catherine. Um, we also know that everybody does not want to live in a shelter for a variety of reasons. Some people have trauma that's associated with shelters. Um, I was in LA, and I never really thought about this before, but I was in LA on Skid Row. Hey, good to see you, Vandy. Um, and I was talking to a guy who was in a little tiny home, and he told me that he had been abused in a shelter, and that's why he did not want to go in shelters. And so, even though there was shelter space available in California, he did not want to go there because he had been traumatized. And so we talked a little bit more. Good to see you, Renisa. Um, and he said basically what he wanted was to be able to have a bed by himself. That he didn't have to worry about nobody jumping on him. He wanted to have a shower by himself so he could wash his behind in peace. He wanted to have a TV of his own that he could watch the channels he wanted to watch. And, I thought about that. That's the same thing I want, right? I mean, I like having my own bed. And I like when I take a shower, I get to take a shower by myself. I don't have to worry about people watching me unless they want to, but stop. But I don't have to worry about that. Um, and when I want to push the TV, I can watch what I want to watch. And so we have to really invest more in these tiny homes and create ways of people to have independence in their space. When we give people independence, we give them privacy, we also give them dignity. And so I think it's important for us to continue to be able to do that. And so we'll do that. And, it is not an easy situation, Ronald. It's not cured overnight. As I said before, we're not criminalizing homelessness. We're not going to throw, thank you, Miss Patricia. We're not going to throw people in the street. These are people. These are people. Now, obviously, if they are involved or engaged in criminal behavior, we'll deal with that. But then keep in mind that, some things we are, the sheriff is not going to take, people with public urination in jail. And subpoenas are not going to work. So, um, Barbara, are there plans for a social service center on this? Yes, there are plans for that. We've contracted. We had to start our services where the most concentration was, and so there have been a lot of folks downtown, and so we wanted to pilot the services downtown. So we've piloted the day centers downtown. We've piloted the street teams downtown. And now we can expand them because we know that they work. How do we know they work? Because there's a 21%, 22% decrease in homelessness in 1 year. So if you know of churches or religious institutions on the South Side that are willing to be day centers, we appreciate that. Um, I thank you, Pastor Tillman, and thank you for all the work that you do. Um, but we want to be able to treat people with kindness. You never know that you might be entertaining angels unawares. Think about that. Think about that. Um, you don't know who it is that you might be entertaining. It's somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's grandparents. Um, and so I've been very, very careful. Now, I don't know about you, but many of us are one paycheck away, one tragedy away, one health issue away, one death away um, from being homeless ourselves. And so if we're going to be the city of hospitality, if we're going to be the city, the hostess city of the South, we have to show hospitality to those in our gates as well as those outside of our gates. Um, it's not easy. It's not pretty, but it is absolutely necessary that we treat people with dignity and with kindness and with respect. And so we'll continue to do that. So I hope I answered your question, Ronald. In short, we have not forgotten the South Side. Um, we know that the problem is growing out there. We'll continue to work with our partners out there to expand services out there. We want to be where the people are, and so we'll continue to do that. I'll also say that, you know, in terms of homelessness services, we're the only providers basically anywhere. I mean, when you look around, when you look, you know, Bryan County is not doing it, Richmond Hill is not doing it, Effingham County is not doing it. We're the ones doing it. So, you know, a lot of them send all their homeless folks to Savannah because they say we can't serve you, Savannah can serve you. And so that we don't, we're almost a victim of our success. More people we serve, the more people show up. So, but anyway, you know, I hope I answered your question. So, but anyway, thank you all. I don't know if there are any other questions or anything else I can answer. I'll be more than glad to answer them for you. But we appreciate you all coming and hanging out with us tonight. I want you to know how much I appreciate you all. And Audrey King, I thank you so much, and we have to make sure we address the issues of homeless children as well. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you. And thank you. And I appreciate Tam Tam Reeds. Everybody loves Tam Tam Reeds, right? Everybody appreciate Tam Tam Reeds. All right, Pastor Easton. Good to, hey, Pinky, have you heard from Mama? Alfonso, let's talk offline about that. Rick Lee, thank you very much. We want to be bold. We want to move boldly. We want to move intently, and we want to move together. We want to move boldly. We want to move intentionally, and we want to be able to move together. And that's what we're going to do here in this community. Vanessa, yes, you can catch the replay. Let me tell you how much we appreciate all of you for living in the best city in the world. Savannah will be a safe, environmentally healthy, and economically thriving community for all of its citizens, and we won't stop. We can't stop until all means all. Until Savannah is a safe for all. Until Savannah is environmentally healthy for all. Until Savannah is economically thriving for all of its citizens. Every single one, from the upmost to the lowermost, from the ones from the east to the ones to the west, we will continue until all means all. So I will see you all later. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will continue to be Savannah Strong. Thank you.